Now we will discuss about one world government, that is stateless society. This is the imagination of great thinkers, philosophers all over the world. Karl Marx had imagined a stateless society, one world government. Leo Tolstoy also had imagined this. In India also, Sri Aurobindo has imagined. Swami Shivananda had imagined this. Many great thinkers of the world has imagined. Why is it not possible to live without any division? Think about it. If you study whole history of humanity, Greek civilization, Indus Valley civilization, and before that also, many things are in our scripture. It is believed that Rig Veda is the oldest literature of the whole world, and we can find in the Rig Veda there were Ekachhatravad Sasana, means one world government. There were kings who were ruling the whole world. But it is very difficult to imagine now that one man can govern the whole world, because every country has its own prime ministers, president, chief ministers, and so much of useless ministers. So how can one world government would happen, and what are the demerits of present country system? There are 7 continents and about 204 countries in this earth, and some people say 196 countries according to UN analysis. All countries have their own rules, regulation, system through which that country function. The first fundamental question to be asked is, what are the needs of nations, states, countries? Intelligent person has to think. Every person has to think. Why only intelligent person? If you are living in this world, you have to think as the first and the last person of the world. So there would be no burden of past in your head and no worry of future in your mind. Hence you can think clearly for yourself what is beneficial for you and what would be beneficial for the future generation as well. Otherwise, if we don't do anything, then we will be blamed, condemned. We are responsible for our miseries. The whole humanity is suffering like anything. For the first time in the whole history of humanity, we are capable of managing, creating such scientific instrument through which we can resolve all problems of humanity in a very few moments. Still, due to our stupid identification with country, with state, with area, we are not able to resolve whole problem of humanity. Who is to be blamed? Who are responsible for this? Both people are responsible. The leaders are the most criminal minded people, they are responsible, and the followers are also responsible. They want to throw their responsibility on the leaders. And people think, if I am living, I am getting my food, I am living in a comfortable place, then what is the use? What is my concern with one world government, or who lives in misery and who lives in happiness? What is my concern? You are not a separate entity. from this world. You are part of humanity. You are part of this world. So anything happens in any part of the world is going to affect you directly or indirectly. You are unconscious of it. That is another matter. I always say the earth is one, undivided. Why you created the differences between east and west, my country and other countries, and for that you are fighting unnecessarily, endlessly. All wars are nonsensical, and it is said that about 15,000 wars have been fought in last 5,000 years. Means 1 year, three big wars, and if you count small war, then it will exceed 30,000. Means what humans are doing? They are continuously preparing for war and doing work. The time when they are not fighting, they were preparing for fighting. In this way, the whole energy of humanity are being wasted. We can create beauty, music, poetry, meditation, love, great architecture in leisure period, but we are preparing for war. This is very stupid. Is it not possible to live as one world without any division? I would like to say you, then if there is one world government, then all problems of all countries will disappear instantly, because there will be one supreme power. He can govern all other people. And see in which part of the world, in which country the problem lies. And due to advancement of technology and science, it is very easily recognized and resolved as well. But political leaders, our prime ministers and presidents will be against it. Because if there would be world one government, then what will the prime minister and presidents of 196 country will do? So they will not be in favor of this idea. They are afraid what will happen to them. They don't concern about people welfare. They only concern about their power, name, fame, position. Who had created all this superficial division? When and why? Have you never thought about it? How these systems are coming? We are following the past, which is no more. The old dead people are still ruling us. Being in the first quarter of 21st century, we must think for ourselves. We must create all system, rules, regulation ourselves. We must reject all stupidities of past completely. Otherwise, there would be no hope for a sane, peaceful, silent, beautiful humanity. What are the needs of following past, old, dead, rotten, expired system now? We are still following stupid Plato and Aristotle. They were before about 2300 years ago. Still we are following their idea. We are reading them. That simply indicates how stupid humans beings are. We are not able to create. We are still learning Aristotelian logic, which is so nonsensical. If A is A, then A cannot be B. This is only one-dimensional. In existence, everything is polarized by its opposite. Hence, to make a rational logical statement would be wrong. We are still following Hippocrates. He has developed the system of allopathy, And we are still taking Hippocrates oath, our doctors, that in any condition we will save the life of the patient. If the patient also not willing to live, then also we will protect them. What kind of nonsense is this? And in present world, it will be the greatest crime to save a person's life, because the world is suffering due to overpopulation. To create a single child would be like killing 1,000 people. So, the sensitive, intelligent people will not create any children and will not produce any problem to the humanity. It is very important that not to produce children at least for 10 years. Use condoms, contraceptive pills, safe operation method. Otherwise, humanity will end by overpopulation, like dinosaurs and big animals we have heard in the past. How they died? They died because of their overpopulation. They didn't get the necessary food to eat. Hence they died. So now everywhere people, it is very difficult to find a lonely, secluded place to go. Everywhere people. And what these stupid peoples are doing? Following their stupid leaders. Nobody is ready to think for himself or herself. In this way, humanity is going on. The political mind is the root of all divisions, which is the byproduct of the individual ego. This is all due to political mind. And how a political mind is manufactured. Political mind is the lowest kind of mind. There are two kinds of mind. One is religious mind and the another is political mind. Or you can say one is scientific mind and the other is political mind. And why the desire to rule other comes to a human mind? Because one is feeling inferior within. The political mind is the root cause of all divisions, and politics starts with ambition, and ambition comes when you feel yourself inferior, and inferiority complex is the one of the fatal disease which destroy humans, which is the byproduct of individual ego. We are modern people are very egoistic. Why? Because we have gathered so much of borrowed knowledge from other people, from here, from there, and we think that this is our knowledge. We think that knowledge is power. But what are your experiences of life? What you have found out yourself? All the words you have borrowed from other. All ideas, concept, theories you have borrowed from other. Inferiority complex is the fundamental reason for a person to go into politics, and this is stated by Alfred Adler, the great psychologist of 20th century, as well as this was stated by Gautama the Buddha before 25th century ago, that this is the inferiority what makes one people to struggle, strive, and to prove to the whole world that he is superior than other people. To acquire power, bigger position, prestige, and high bank balance, to rule others, to show to himself and the others that he is not inferior. But one interesting fact is that whatsoever you do externally, your inferiority still remains. People, mad people like politicians and religious leaders try to prove that they are the superior people by making too much false propaganda, doing hard work day and night making them superior from other, trying to compete with other people and to make progress by going ahead of them. What are the needs of one world government? Is this country system not okay? What are the drawbacks of country system? What are the benefits of country system? Every country has its own rules, regulation, morality system in order to run the country system. Contemplate about it. Whatsoever question. I always say, no need to obey or believe whatsoever I have said. I am sharing my thoughts. You have to think for yourself. What is the state of present world? And in which area the root cause of problems lie? You have to go, investigate, search for yourself. Only your experience will liberate yourself, and nobody can help you either. You may have experienced this fact. Okay, contemplate upon this, whatsoever I have said.